Input devices are the devices or the units which are responsible for accepting input. Now it simply means that whenever we have to give some instructions to our computer, we will use the input devices. Now let's read and understand. The input unit is responsible for accepting input, that is data and instructions from the user. Fine. This work is accompanied with the help of input devices. Device in general here refers to an equipment or any unit through which we can perform some operations. Now, some most commonly used input devices are keyboard, mouse, microphone, scanner, concept keyboard, touch screens, barcode readers, magnetic strip readers, OCR, OMR, MICR and light pen. Fine. So in general, in most of our computers we have these keyboards and mouse because these are two fundamental input devices that we must have to use. Then after that you also might have used the microphones and scanners and touch screens. Fine. There are these few devices like barcode readers, magnetic strip readers, OMR, OCR, MICR and light pen. They have their specific use. So we also have to discuss about these few. But in this class or in this particular video, we have to discuss about these 6 basic input devices only. And in our next video, we have to discuss about other 6 input devices in detail. Now let's begin with the first one. The first input device that we have to discuss is keyboard. This keyboard is a very important device for us because whenever we have to type something, whenever we have to store something, whenever we have to enter some data, we must have to use a keyboard. Let's take an example. Suppose you wanted to write any application, or let's say you want to write your messages when you are chatting. So for all these purposes, you have to use a keyboard. Fine. So in general, keyboard is a typewriter like device which is used to type in the letters, digits and commands. It means with the help of a keyboard we can type letters, digits and command. A keyboard contains a matrix of switches. Fine. In a keyboard we have multiple switches where every key, it means on this keyboard every key works as a switch. Fine. When we press a key, each key sends a digital code to the computer that determines which key has been pressed. Fine. In general, in this keyboard we have 101 keys, or in some keyboards we have 108 or more keys. Fine. So whenever we press a key of our keyboard, for every key operation, some code or some binary digits are given to our computer system. Then our computer analyzes that code and then it will identify the key that you have pressed. Fine. Now we have to discuss about some most commonly used and some most important keys of our keyboard. Fine. In our keyboard in the center we have these alphabetical keys, and these alphabetical keys are in the form of QWERTY. This keyboard that is available here, or this picture, is a type of our QWERTY keyboard. Fine. We have one more keyboard which is in alphabetical order, but this QWERTY keyboard is the most useful one because in this every key is placed in its proper place. In general, in most of the standard keyboards we have a numeric keyboard over this side, whereas in the simple keyboards or in some compact keyboards we only have these few keys. We don't have a numeric keyboard. Fine. In every keyboard we have 12 keys at the 12 function keys, and on this side we have a escape key. Every function key has a specific function, and sometimes these are also used as a shortcut key. Along with that we also have 4 direction keys over here. Fine. These direction keys are generally used to direct our images or objects in our computer screen. Then we have some special keys like Control, Shift and Alt. Control, Shift and Alt keys are available in pairs. It means in each keyboard you will have 2 Shift, 2 Control and 2 Alt keys. Then we have a Tab key and a Caps Lock key. For giving a wide space we have to use the Tab key, and for switching in between the small letters and capital letters we have to use the Caps Lock key. Then we have the biggest key in our keyboard. This biggest key in the keyboard is termed as our spacebar key, and this spacebar key is used to give a space. Over here in this side we have one more big key. This key is termed as our Enter key. Fine. The sign of an enter is something like this. Fine. An enter key is generally used to give a command or to execute a command or to change the line in our typing applications. Then we have a key which is backspace key. So whenever we have to delete something or we have to erase something, we have to press this backspace key. Fine. Now one most important thing, this enter key is also available in pairs if you are using a standard keyboard. But if you are using a compact keyboard, then you will only have one standard key in your computer screen. Fine. Now let's move to our second input device, that is mouse. After keyboard, mouse is one of the most popularly used device and it is generally used for most of our applications. Whether you have to select something, you have to point something, you are playing a game or you are working with any file, you must use a mouse in your computer. And without our mouse, we cannot easily locate things or we can not easily point things in our computer's screen. Fine. So generally this mouse is termed as a pointing device. Fine. Our mouse is a pointing device that points to a position on computer screen. Fine. It means with the help of this pointing device, we can easily locate or point things in our computer's screen. Mouse controls movements of pointer on the screen. Fine. When a mouse moves on a flat surface, the cursor on the screen also moves in the same direction in which we are moving our mouse. Fine. So it means whenever you are moving your mouse, your cursor will also move in the computer's screen. Fine. Now in general, we have two buttons in the mouse and in some mouses we have three buttons. Fine. It is our left click, whereas this one is our right click. And then in some mouse we also have a center scroll key. Fine. So in this one we have it, in some we don't have it. Fine. Now we have to discuss about the types of mouse. In general, we have four types of mouse: mechanical mouse, optical mouse, optomechanical mouse and blue track mouse. In a mechanical mouse, we have a ball. That ball is generally used to track our mouse pointer in the computer screen. Next we have optical mouse. This optical mouse is generally used in most of the computers. In this optical mouse, we have a red colored light which blinks. Fine. And this red color laser light is generally used to identify the position of the cursor on the computer screen. Then next we have optical or the optomechanical mouse. This optomechanical mouse is the combined version of this mechanical and the optical mouse. In this we have both the things. We have a laser also and then we have a ball also. Fine. Then at last we have a blue track mouse. Blue track mouse is similar to our optical mouse, but it has a blue color laser light. Well, we don't have to discuss about these four categories in detail, so you just only have to learn their names and their basic informations. Then our next input device is a microphone. Well, this microphone is one of the most important device if we have to perform any communication process. Fine. So whenever we have to perform any conferencing, whether it is an audio conference or video conference, we must have to use a mic. Fine. Or a microphone. Now, we can send sound input to computer through a special input device called microphone or mic in short. Fine. A mic converts the sound received into computer's format, which is called digitalized sound or digital audio. Fine. So generally, whenever we record something in our computer, that audio is in a digital format. So our mic generally help us to convert that digital audio into the human hearable form. Now, well, generally these mics can easily be used with our mobile phones, but the problem is that in our computers, a mic will not work if we don't have a specific hardware for that. Fine. Now, a mic can only work if a computer has a special hardware known as our sound card. Fine. So without this sound card, our mic will not work. Fine. Generally, this sound card is a circuit chip that we have to plug into our motherboard. Okay. Then next we have concept keyboard. Well, this concept keyboard is a very important thing that you must have to know. Well, here we have a screen over here. In this screen, you can see that we have some keys over here. Fine. These are some custom keys that you will not found in any keyboard, but we have these keys for any specific application only. Let's take an example. Generally, when we visit a general store or any shopping mall, you might have seen that in the billing counter, they have a single monitor. They don't have any keyboard. In that single monitor screen only, they have a digital keyboard, and in that keyboard they don't have all the keys. So that particular keyboard, which has some specific keys only and is designed for a specific operation only, that keyboard is termed as our concept keyboard. Fine. So on a concept keyboard, keys have specific dedicated function. It means here keys will have a dedicated function. These keys will not be the standard keys. Fine. An example would be in a restaurant. where there is a key for each different food item that might be bought. Fine. Then next we have touch screen. Well, I don't think I have to explain this one because you all might be using your touchscreen phones for this video. Fine. So this touch screen is a very touch sensitive display, and the best thing of this display is that wherever you will put your finger, it will senses your motions, and then it will also help you to locate that thing in your computer, the screen also. Well, a touch screen can detect where on the screen surface you are touching. Fine. Now touch screens are often used in mobile devices such as phones and tablets, where you would not have space for traditional keyboard. Fine. You can see over here we have a Windows tablet. Fine. In this Windows tablet we don't have any keyboard, so it is made with a touchscreen display only. So by using our hands we can easily select multiple things over here. Similarly in a mobile phone, and generally we use these touchscreen mobile phones for playing games because the gaming experience of this touchscreen keyboard is very nice. Fine. Next we have scanner. Well, this scanner is the last topic, but it's a very important topic. Fine. So you have to learn it very properly. You have to go through it once very properly. So just be very sincere and listen to me very carefully now. A scanner is a device similar to a photocopier. Fine. It is similar to a photocopier. A scanner creates an electronic form of the printed image which can later be manipulated, changed and modified according to the requirements. Fine. Now let's suppose you have a hard copy. Fine. Suppose I have a book with myself and I want to convert that book into a PDF form, or I just want to write something on that book, or I just want to change the text of that book. So for that case I can use a scanner. Fine. Now with the help of a scanner we can easily convert our hard copy form data into a soft copy form image. Fine. Hard copy means something which is physical to us that we can touch, whereas soft copy means something which we have in our computer's display. Fine. Let's suppose you want to have a books page in your computer's display. So for that you can easily use a scanner, and by using a scanner you can easily scan that page with a good picture quality, and then you can save that image for your future use. Fine. So scanners came in variety of sizes from handheld models to the desktop models. So we have to discuss all these models one by one. Types of scanners. Generally we have three types of scanners. Our first scanner is handheld scanner. Fine. This handheld scanner is generally a handy scanner that we can easily hold in our hand. Fine. So here it is example of our handheld scanner. You might have seen this scanner in some shops. Fine. So generally we can easily carry this scanner in our hands and then we can scan some pages or some documents. Fine. Well, the biggest problem with this scanner is that these scanners are very difficult to operate or handle. That's why these are not used mostly. Then our next scanner is flatbed scanner. This flatbed scanner is a desktop scanner also. Fine. These are large and more expensive scanners, but they definitely create higher picture quality. Fine. These scanners have a flat surface on which the printed image to be scanned is placed. Fine. So here we have example of our flatbed. You might have seen this flatbed printer or scanner. Fine. And generally we have this flatbed scanner attached with the photocopiers. Fine. Next we have drum scanner. Well, as the name is given, it is drum. So in this scanner we have a drum like rotator. Fine. So generally our image or the document that we have to scan, that document will be rolled around that particular drum and then it will be scanned by the scanning lights. Fine. So these are medium sized scanners with a rolling drum. The sheet is fed through the scanner so that the drum rolls over the entire sheet to be scanned. Fine. And here it is the image of the drum scanner. Fine. So these are three types of scanners.